Hey guys, it's Travis with Bartermania. As you probably saw or you already know, I got a pretty good haul of vintage t-shirts and vintage blow molds from a recent garage sale estate sale, and I wanted to video everything as far as my haul goes and show you everything. Here we go. So I'm going to get to this later because this is where a lot of the good money is from the sale. This is mediocre, vintage inspired, but not necessarily old. But here are some old blow molds. Santa, which is a good time. I recently got a antique booth in Alvin. This one is from Carolina Enterprises, and it's pretty darn old. None of these had the lights, but it doesn't matter. The collectors will want them. Here is. If you look on the bottom there, you can barely see it out, but it's Empire. If you see any vintage Empire blow molds, you definitely want to pick them up. Here's another one. I don't know if you can see that E, but that's for Empire. Old Christmas. So there's another one. Let me get it. See the E for Empire? I'm trying to get it in the shade, but you can probably make it out. Looking for the dates. It looks like that one's from 1968. There we go on another one. See the E for Empire. If you see any vintage old Empire blow molds, you definitely want to consider picking them up if you're at an estate sale or garage sale. Here you go. Here's the E. So they are collectors out there. They probably won't use them. They'll just display them somewhere in a room. Some vintage. If you look at any old electronics and see some Christmas lights, people still buy these and collect them. This is a full box. Ignore the prices because I negotiated a bundle deal on this. For my booth in Alvin, I thought that would be fun for Halloween to have on the shelf. I only paid $5. I'll get probably 20. So let's get to the shirts. Alright, so if you're ever at a sale and you want to find some vintage shirts, first things first, if you try to find shirts that are old, look for, if you could see it, but there's only one line. That's what we call single stitch. There's single stitch and there's double stitch. If you're wearing a shirt right now watching this video, if you look at your sleeve, you probably see 2 stitches because that's what the newer t-shirts have. But on older shirts, they only had single stitch, and that's what a lot of collectors want to see. Now, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be an old like big hair band like I have here. It could be anything from cartoon character shirts to I don't know, you name it. It is old shirt, single stitch on eBay. You put that in the description. There will be people and there will be buyers that find it. So this is an old Poison shirt. Any Poison bands? Here's Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion from, I think it was 1991. So usually you'll see also on the bottom of old shirts, there'll be a little date and a little name down here that you want to use in the description. If you can find with tags, tags are always important, but that's not necessarily a deal breaker. Double-sided on that one. This one wasn't really that old, but it'll still go for a lot, like $50. It's an old Motley Crue, but this is a final tour. Now this one's going for a good penny. This is a single stitch. It is Brockham, so you can barely make it out, but this is an old Motley Crue shirt. Now these 3 that I'm about to show you already paid for everything that I already showed you. These 3 shirts paid for everything, so I'm already in the profit. This is an old Danzig. It's a long sleeve single stitch, but it has print on the sleeve. I don't know, it's called a 4P promo, I guess, tour shirt. And down here, if you look at the base, that is also a single stitch. So that one already sold. I got $120 just for this shirt alone. This, if you're familiar with Doc Martens, this is a Doc Martens shirt, single stitch. It's got the tag here, original Doc Martens tag. And this one already sold for $100. This shirt sold, I think I listed it for a little too less than what I could have got, but this shirt sold within 2 minutes of when I listed it. Literally, I finished listing it and it sold for the first person that saw it. It's a 1991 single stitch, and it's Ministry. I didn't even know who that was, but I knew that it would sell. These are vintage inspired shirts. They're not necessarily single stitch. See the difference? If you look, you'll see the row. like the railroad track, 2 rows of stitching. So that's not single stitch. But this one, I thought maybe if it would have fit, I would have sent it over to my good friend at RVA Flips, Justin. If you don't know his channel, you should by now. He's got a lot of good content too. I've been following him for a while. I was gonna send him that, but I don't know. It looks kind of tiny. I don't know if it's gonna fit him, but I still might send it to him. Yes, I went back and got, this is a Misfits. If you ever heard of Misfits, it's an old band. This one's double stitched, but it still might sell. There's a lot of collectors for that. This is apparently an older shirt from the Misfits. I haven't done much research on it, but it looks like it's from 2005. So I don't know if there's still going to be some collectors for that. It's still 15 years old. It might sell. Guns N' Roses, had to get that. I'm a big Guns N' Roses fan. This one I think was already in the video that Tonya shot. If a lot of y'all are coming over from her station and saw that video. I got this for Pam and Ryan over at Thrift Mine. She's a big Packers fan, so this will probably fit her really good. I'll mail it to her so she has something to wear during the season, which she probably already has one, but another one won't hurt her. I'm a child of the 80s. I had to pick up the Goonies. Hey, you guys. Vintage inspired Ice Cube. It's a cool print. I'm a big Doors fan. Here's a purple vintage inspired Doors shirt. And this one is just cool with the shades on. I thought that was a good one. That's about it for the shirts. I already covered the blow molds. These are gonna look pretty cool in my booth. Yellow owl, and it looks like an English bulldog. I might send this one out to Ralli Roots though. It might look cool in my booth, but they have an English bulldog, and I'm sure they'll love that for Halloween. And then this I put in. I didn't get this necessarily from the recent haul, but I wanted to send this in the video and put it in. These are larger blow molds that if you see these at estate sales, jackass friend scaring me here. If you see these at estate sales, pick them up, especially if they're cheap enough, if they don't know what they have, because these, like this one right here, is selling for $160. It's a vintage skeleton with cat, and this one is like, it's considered a totem pole blow mold. This one will go for about 75 bucks, and that's about it. So I'll be listing these, selling them in my antique booth, or putting them on eBay depending on what I feel like doing and what the, I guess, what the traffic is on my booth versus eBay, etc., and comparing the prices, everything else. So I hope this gives you a good idea of what the haul was. And exciting news, I finally got permission from Fox News to air the Barter Mania when they covered. That's how I got my name for the channel, was they did in 2005. They did a story about me and what I do and my finds and my trading through, back then it was through Craigslist, but I was covered by them. They ran a story, a 2-part story, and then they gave me permission to use it on YouTube. So now I will be providing coverage and a copy of what they did on that story. You should see that in a couple days. Now, I hope you got a good idea of what to look for on vintage shirts, some blow molds if you see them, and stay tuned for other channel information and bolos. Be on lookouts for. Take care. Bye. Alright guys, here's an update on what I got going on for my antique booth. I can't breathe in this thing. Alright, so I'm going to go around, kind of show you what I got. Put a light canopy up here, cinder blocks with shelves. I kind of like that open area, so I left that open with some shelves down here. Some vintage toys, some vintage calculator, vintage mixer. I had a huge mirror that was right there that I already sold for $500, which was pretty cool. It was kind of like that one, but double the size. I'm putting shelves along this side wall here to put like coffee mugs and everything. I got a display that's going to be for both sides. I'm going to put some green lights around here to make it pop. So there's some shelves. It's like coffee mugs, etc. The trunk. Be awesome. Free sanitizer, can't go wrong with that. Some games. I know, I gotta fill it up. Here's your friendly hanging clown. Blow mold carousel. Glass, some old toys. That's pretty much where we're at right now. I still gotta fill it up. Once it fills up, it'll look really good. Alright, stay tuned.